Skittles, Ginger Ale, Reggie, and of course the Bad Boys were the highlight of Bad Boys Ride or Die over the weekend. As of Sunday morning, Bad Boys Ride or Die, the fourth movie of the Bad Boys franchise, made $106.4 million globally, with $56 million in the United States. It is already a box office smash. Now, this is the first major film of the summer to open above expectations in the box office and is a much needed boost to the movie industry. It recouped its budget within 3 days of the movie coming out. I mean, wow. Now, before the movie came out in theaters, there were a lot of articles that came out that asked the million-dollar question. Will Will Smith's new movie take a hit in the box office because he slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars 2 years ago? Some predicted the movie would be a bust because of what he did, but obviously we know that numbers don't lie, and this may be one of the best and most financially successful movies to come out in the summer. So let's get into the review of the movie. If you did not already watch the movie, please click off because there will be spoilers, so make sure you go get your tickets now. So the storyline, characters, and overall thoughts. The movie follows Mike Lowrey, played by Will Smith, and Marcus Burnett, played by Martin Lawrence, as they go on a mission to clear their late Captain Howard's name of being involved in the drug cartel. The storyline made sense, and that might seem like a no-brainer comment, but there are some movies out there that make you scratch your head as to what the storyline is all about. It seemed like the third movie was focused on Mike Lowrey's health and him getting shot, and this movie zeroed in on Marcus's health as he suffered that major stroke at Mike's wedding. This was a crucial part of the overall story because it reminded the audience that we are watching the fourth movie of the Bad Boys franchise. These two are no longer 20-something-year-old cops running around the world busting bad guys. No, these are 50-year-old cops fighting for their life and their families, all while dealing with their own personal health struggles, physical and mental health issues as well. It made them even more relatable, and it tugged on our heartstrings. Now, the ending was a little bit too predictable, especially when it came to who was the snake on the inside that helped plant the evidence against Captain Howard. For viewers that have followed the franchise, we all knew that Rita would not be the snake, and her new boyfriend and district attorney, Adam, was the only viable option. But other than that, the plot was pretty solid. Now, as far as the characters, there were a few newcomers to the movie, such as the late Captain Howard's daughter, U.S. Marshal Judy, and her daughter, Callie. I think the biggest mistake in sequels is introducing a bunch of new characters that seem to have no purpose. But for Bad Boys 4, it was pretty genius to add the late Captain Howard's daughter as the one that is in charge of working the case once things became dicey for Marcus, Mike, and Armando, as it heightens the severity of the mission, and it also gives the audience an emotional connection to the characters again. Also, I was super surprised to see that Mike Lowrey got married in the beginning of the movie with Christine, his physical therapist, only because it seemed like he is the bachelor type, like Leonardo DiCaprio. But this movie basically just showed that he is a George Clooney type. Wait until you're older and then marry the one that's on your level. Again, I was surprised to see that he got married, but it all made sense once Christine was kidnapped because the plot of the movie would have been pretty much empty without it, just like the other movies. As far as the acting goes, everyone gave a stellar performance. Honestly, it felt like anyone on the screen could lead a movie, as some of the actors have in the past. Martin Lawrence was my absolute favorite because he really brought the laughs. I mean, we all know that Martin is a comedy legend. Oftentimes, people have the debate on whether Martin or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was better, and anyone would say Martin without skipping a beat. So it was great to see him flex his comedy acting chops again on the big screen. Will Smith's performance was great too. We all know that Will Smith is a movie star himself, one of the rare bankable movie stars that can actually get people out of their homes and into the movie theaters, just like Denzel Washington, Tom Cruise, and Brad Pitt. Now, I know comparison is the thief of all joy, but Martin Lawrence's performance was the most notable out of the two. Now, some highlight performances. First, Vanessa Hudgens. She played Kelly. I was glad to see her back in the franchise. She was a breath of fresh air in the third film, and it was great to see her in this one as well. It seemed like she didn't have as much lines and action in this movie compared to the third, but she was a scene stealer in this movie for sure. Now, Dennis Green, who played Reggie, was the standout in this movie for sure. I mean, I would have never in a million years thought that Reggie would ever have a fight sequence in the Bad Boys franchise. Reggie is, of course, married to Marcus's daughter Megan, and he has to fight back against the drug cartel who are trying to harm him and his wife, and Teresa, Marcus's wife. And talk about fighting back. The fight sequence completely blew me away. The whole theater was talking and smiling and clapping and cheering for Reggie, just like everyone else was in the movie. Now, it's not a surprise that his character per se would be able to fight back based off of his occupation, as he is a U.S. Marine. I think that it was a huge transition from the teenage boy that we saw in the second movie that was trying to take out Megan to now him being a grown man protecting his family. Again, it made the audience realize that it's been 30 years since the first Bad Boys movie came out. It was a heartwarming, full 360 moment. Now, this was a star-studded cast with Tiffany Haddish and DJ Khaled in the mix, but the one that shined the most was Joyner Lucas. For those of you guys that don't know, Joyner Lucas is an artist who is known for writing, rapping, and singing about thought-provoking topics. And in 2020, Joyner Lucas dropped a song called Will, and it was a tribute to Will Smith because he is his idol. And a few months later, Will Smith hopped on the song for the remix. Now, fast forward 4 years later, Joyner Lucas is in a Will Smith movie. Mic drop. He got to work on Bad Boys Ride or Die with his idol and biggest influence. I mean, the remix was probably a full circle moment for sure. So congratulations to him. Now, as far as the optics of this movie, again, I've been reading a bunch of articles and think pieces surrounding Will Smith and this movie. And there are some that have talked about how Will Smith's movie career is over and how he will never have another box office hit, and that he torpedoed his career at the Oscars. Basically, there's no coming back. And you know, when I was reading all these articles, I was thinking that I understood where they were coming from. However, it's Will Smith. Of course, he's still going to be a successful movie star. I think Will Smith is just secretly laughing at everyone that ever doubted that he would never be able to act again. Now, this doesn't mean that everything will go back to normal 100%, but this means that he still got it, and that it's okay if people don't respect or like him, but they can't take away the numbers that he did in the box office, no matter how much people try. Will Smith is back, and he's here to stay, and he just proved that he has an audience that will ride or die with him. As always, I want to know what you guys think. Did you like the movie? Can you see a fifth movie starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence? Do you think that they should pass the torch to someone else? Will this movie change people's perspective of Will Smith? Did you ever doubt that this movie would make money? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for some more Taylor Talks, and see ya.